Hey guys, Shana Boyer with Spectrum Real Estate Consultants at Keller Williams Realty, here with a little video for my buyers out there, folks that are considering purchasing a property or are already on their home search. A couple things we're going to cover today. One, interest rates. Where are they now and what do they mean for you as a buyer? Two, should I wait till after the holidays to buy? Big misconception in my opinion. Everybody thinks that everything gets put on hold right now, but it doesn't. And number three, how to avoid burnout and get your offer accepted in this crazy market. If you are already out there shopping, you know exactly what I am talking about. Now, interest rates, as of right now, as of Monday of this week, they were still right around 3% or lower. Guys, that is insane. That is completely crazy when we think about historically what interest rates have been at in the past. So what does it mean if your interest rate goes up once you've been pre-approved? What does it mean for your pre-approval? Right? Now, a lot of buyers have the misconception that when they get a pre-approval letter that interest rate that they're quoted is locked in. That is not the case. That interest rate does not get locked in until you are under contract on a property and you have submitted your mortgage application. So if there is one listed on your pre-approval, that is not a guarantee. Mortgage rates change from day to day. So something very important to keep in mind. And when we talk about your interest rate changing and how that affects your pre-approval, a lot of people don't realize that just 0.5% in interest costs you money in buying power. So if we talk about a $300,000 mortgage, 0.5% change, the $300,000 mortgage equals $26,000 less in buying power. So if you were pre-qualified to spend 300 grand and your interest rate goes up 0.5%, now you're only qualified to spend 274, but here's the clincher, you still get the same monthly payment. Yeah, that burns, right? It also means lowering your price range in your searches. Most people aren't satisfied with what they're looking at in their current price range. Now imagine you got to drop that search price range by $25,000. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, right? So how much does a lower interest rate save me, right? Like, oh, well, if I wait until next year and, interest rates go up 0.5%, I'm not really worried about it. Now, you have to remember your mortgage is going to be typically for 30 years. That's a long time. What does that percentage and increase cost you over what we call the life of your loan? If we're looking at a $300,000 mortgage locked in at 3% for a 30-year term, you're going to spend $155,333 just in interest, guys. That has nothing to do with principal or anything else. That is the bank's juice on the money that they have lent you. Now, if we jack that up to 3.5%, right? We up it by 0.5%, not even a full percentage, 0.5%. Same $300,000 mortgage locked in at 30 years at 3.5%. You are spending $184,970 in just interest. Again, not principal, just interest. So that means that 0.5% in interest rate cost you $29,637 over 30 years on a $300,000 mortgage, again, at the same payment. That burns, guys. That really stinks. So long story short, stay diligent, keep shopping. If rates go up, you're going to lose buying power, which nobody wants to see that happen. You're not going to be happy about it. Now, when should I get pre-approved? Please don't put the cart before the horse. Why are you going out looking at houses when you don't realistically know what you can afford? Okay. So another thing that, the most important thing is God forbid you find the house that you have to have. You can't make an offer without a pre-approval. Well, you can, but most likely it's not going to be considered. Right now, 90% of properties are going to multiple offer situations, which means that there are buyers competing for that property. When you have a seller sitting there looking at a pile of 5 to 15 offers, and there's even one offer that doesn't even have a pre-approval letter, which means that you can't prove to that seller, you have no proof that you qualify to buy their house, why are they even going to have a conversation with you? They have 4 to 12 other choices that all have done their homework ahead of time. Now, the other thing is we see a lot of properties going to highest and best, which means, again, multiple offer situation competition. They give us a deadline to get your offer in. If you don't have a pre-approval letter by that deadline, God forbid it's a Saturday and you're working with somebody who's not going to pick up their phone, or you just can't get in touch with somebody, too bad, so sad, you lose out because you chose to not be prepared and to not do your homework. Now, with COVID, we're also seeing a lot of agents, they won't even confirm a showing for us if we don't forward your pre-approval letter. They want to limit exposure between the homeowner and random people. And if somebody isn't able to actually buy the house, why would they want to expose their seller and their client to somebody who could potentially be exposed to COVID? Guys, you got to take all of this into perspective, okay? Now, next is the lender piece. How do you know if you're working with a good lender? I was chatting with Adam Delmonico from Movement Mortgage in order to make sure that my numbers here were accurate today. He's one of the lenders that I know and trust and love. And one of the reasons why is because I know that he talks to my clients about their monthly budget versus what they qualify for. In my opinion, a good lender, when you sit down to talk to them, they won't just tell you, oh, you qualify for $375,000, go out and have fun shopping. No, they're going to ask you what your monthly budget is. And if they don't, in my opinion, they're not looking out for your best interest. Your monthly budget is the most important number. That's what determines whether or not you end up house poor, right? So a good lender will take that monthly budget number, work the equation backwards, and then give us an appropriate price range to be shopping in to make sure that we end up at that number that you want to be at. Now, should I wait until after the holidays to look for a house? In my opinion, no. Absolutely not. Again, interest rates may be going up. You never know. So why would you want to roll the dice on that? And also, people still need to move. There are people who have to move for many different reasons, and those reasons are beyond our control. Some people may decide to take a step back right now, which means that you could potentially have less competition. There are people with young families who don't want to consider moving around the holidays, or they don't want to be out and about as much because of the holidays or because of COVID. If you are able and willing, then you should still keep shopping, in my opinion, unless there is some other reason that you decide to put your search on hold. But in my opinion, stay diligent, stay out there. How to avoid burnout and frustration and get your offer accepted. If you're out there shopping right now, you know exactly what I am talking about. There is still an inventory shortage, right? And a lot of properties, I don't want to give a percentage, but most properties, if they're priced correctly, when they get listed, they disappear immediately. We are seeing properties sell in 24 hours, okay? Which means that you have a ton of competition out there as a buyer right now. You need to work your law of averages. If you're not in sales, you don't know anything about sales, the law of averages is 1 in 10, which means that you need 9 no's to get a yes, which means that you may very well need to make 9 offers and get those offers not accepted to get that one accepted offer. I track my numbers. I know that is true right now. Even with the tools that I use, a lot of my buyers have to make 7, 8, 9 offers before they get one accepted. Keep that in mind. Use that to flex your mental muscle, if you will. That way you don't get defeated and you don't get down, okay? You also need to know your competition. Know if you're shopping in a popular price range. And I also suggest budget shopping. If you're pre-approved for $375,000, set your search up to $350,000. A lot of properties right now, because of all the competition, end up going above what we call list price or above asking, which means that there's enough competition where buyers are actually willing to pay more than what the seller is currently asking for the property, okay? And if you're shopping at the very top of your price range, you have no room to compete, like literally none, okay? And that being said, you shouldn't spend more because you're making more, right? You don't necessarily have to max out your budget in your home search. Don't be afraid to leave yourself some wiggle room and some negotiating power. Now, lastly, working with an agent who has tools for you to stand out from other offers. A good creative agent will have tricks up their sleeve, if you will, to coach you through making your offer and how to structure your offer in a way that makes you stand out from your competition. I will not be sharing my tools here today because I know that there will be other agents watching this video and I'm not about to show my cards. But if you do need help in your home search, or if I can help in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. Shana Boyer with Spectrum Real Estate Consultants at Keller Williams Realty, 401-623-1037. That's 401-623-1037. And you can always check us out online at spectrumrec.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day.